Guys, this is interesting. South Africans have been saying foreigners are taking their jobs. Foreigners, on the other hand, say South Africans are lazy and simply don't want to work. But I have always said that every story has three sides. Your side, my side, and the truth. And this particular story exposes that little truth in between. Friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, let's look at what happened after some foreign workers left South Africa and why this story is actually proving that both sides may have a point. My name is Mami Soma. Stay with me. So, after many immigrants left South Africa following the June protests, routers visited three clothing factories in Newcastle, thanks to them. And those factories said they had lost between 12% and 19% of their workforce. Now, the Workers' Union estimates that about 15% of Newcastle's 15,000 textile workers left. Yes, that is roughly 2,250 workers.
We can't immediately replace this skill with local. It takes time, and we were not prepared.
And now, some sewing machines are sitting idle. If this was simply about foreigners taking South Africans' job, then logically, I think once the foreigners left, unemployed South Africans should have filled those vacancies. But that isn't what is happening right now. So that immediately raises a question. Were the foreigners right when they said South Africans simply don't want these jobs? One employer even questioned whether local South Africans really wanted this kind of factory work.
The comfortable job in my mind. Local people looking for the nurse, looking for the cashier, because textile, the clothing business is tough. You sitting 9 hours on the bench is not easy.
Suggesting that many would rather pursue what they consider more decent jobs, quote and unquote, like nursing, banking, and others, sit for long hours sewing. That almost makes you believe the argument that South Africans simply don't want these jobs. But not so fast, right? Let us look at something because something else came out of the same report. The Workers' Union says the problem is not that South Africans don't have the skills. They say the wages are simply too low and transport costs make these jobs even less attractive. Aha! Now we are getting somewhere because this also supports what South Africans have been saying. Desperate foreigners may be willing to accept wages and working conditions that the local workers will reject. And if employers know they can get someone to do the same job for less money, naturally that creates a problem for the local worker. So honestly, both sides have a point. If you know your worth and refuse to be exploited, I absolutely understand that. But if you are not qualified to become a banker, nurse, teacher, or whatever decent job you are waiting for, and at the same time you are unwilling to learn or do the skilled manual jobs that are available, then can you completely blame the foreigner who is willing to do them? You see the point? But at this point, this ceases to be just South African, Nigerian, or Ghanaian issue. All of us have to reject cheap and exploitative labor. That thing can be very frustrating. And if we simply ignore it because we think it is a South African problem, then we are not being fair. Employers can be exploitative. Even landlords can be exploitative when they realize somebody is desperate and has very few options. Employers should not deliberately use desperate foreigners as cheap labor and then turn around and say the locals don't want to work. If workers are being paid below the legal minimum wage, then that is an employer problem too. And I think that is the truth this story exposes. Maybe it was never simply foreigners are stealing our jobs or South Africans are lazy. Maybe the real problem is somewhere in between. Unemployment, low wages, skills, exploitation, and desperation all meet in the same labor market. So, what do you think? Are South Africans refusing jobs because they don't want to work, or are employers offering wages that people simply cannot survive on? And where does the foreigner worker fit into all of this? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. My name is Mami Soma. See you in my next one.